Well, hello, this is Peter Combs from BidAmount.com and P.O. Combs Asian Art. We're located in Gloucester, Massachusetts, and this is one of our weekly videos, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks for visiting. And today is Friday, October 3rd, 2017, and as always, we'll take a look at last week's eBay auction results for Chinese porcelain and Asian works of art. And also, before I get started, and also we're going to cover some things that are coming up this week that'll be in the newsletter as well. A number of people wrote and said, gee, that's nice that we include the upcoming stuff in addition to the stuff that's already closed. Any rate, I wanted to mention we did a video this week. It was a book review on this amazing set of books that Grace Wu Bruce published just very recently. It's available through Paragon. It's a tremendous 2-volume set, not physically big. It's actually a very good size, with about 1,000 illustrations from our own personal collection. It's beautifully written, lots of information, lots of detailed photographs of construction. Take a look at the video, and if you're building a library, I would urge you to think about getting this book, because it's going to go out of print pretty quickly. I think it's going to sell out in a hurry. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, and let's get started with last week's eBay results. There was this. This caught my eye. I like this a lot. I like robes and textiles, and you don't see many hats. And this is a nice old late Qing hat with a fur. It's a fur hat with a fur trim on it, and set with these beautifully braided down, dyed red ropes, and this nice old bronze hat finial on top. The liner was all still intact. You can see the plug that attaches the finial, and as you can see, the fur on it was in really lovely condition. It's got an old tag in it, but this was a nice thing. It was a nice hat, nice old brass hat finial, or bronze. And it did pretty well. It brought $790, which I don't think was a crazy price for that at all. You don't see many of these hats turn up on the market, and so I think sometimes people don't know really what to pay for them. But it was a nice item. It's a good object. You probably won't see one again for quite a while. All right, and then we had this bronze came up. I like this a lot. This man holding a double gourd. It's a good gilt bronze, probably late Ming from what I can see. Excellent quality all the way around, good casting, and in good condition. And I love Ming Bronzes. If you've watched these for a while, you know I like them. I'm preferential to them. And I thought this was terrific. And it did very well. It brought $4,123. I think a lot of people liked it, obviously. It had 75 bids, and I think it had, I don't know, 800 or 900 views. It was quite a thing. Nice bronze, and it did well. It deserved to. And then there was this unusual sort of late Ming, early Qing incense burner with the boys holding it up. Initially, I thought it could possibly be Japanese because of the boys and the way it's shaped. But when you look at the bottom of it, there's the interior. Doesn't look very Japanese there, and especially with these little iron oxide lines running around it. And then the bottom of it, nice and flat. It's got a Ming mark. I don't think it's from that period, probably late Ming, but nice quality. And it brought $1,525. Very attractive little example. And it's a seller we've never seen before, Roundhouse Antiques. I don't know how much Chinese stuff they handle, but we'll keep an eye on them. And then there was this really nice, lovely pair of jadeite, late 19th, early 20th century jadeite vases with acanthus leaves and these sort of archaistic carvings all over it, fitted with, surmounted with carved food lions. The jade quality was quite good on it, but not exceptional. It was good jade. Nothing. I'm not knocking them, but there's a little too much brown in them here and there, rather than a good clear green to dark green, light green to dark green jade. But they did well. They did perfectly fine. Here's a view of the bottom of them. There it is, and there's some just slight discoloration of the jade itself. And they brought $6,300 for the pair, which is a perfectly reasonable price for those. Nice big pair of vases or jars. All right, and then over to this. You remember last week I pointed this lot out, sort of an oddball lot because the first two things aren't much, but this was a pretty nice bamboo incense tube holder. It was missing its bottom plug, but the carving on it was nice. And it needed to be cleaned up. It looked like somebody maybe had cleaned the lacquer off of it at some point, It's all dry and the highlights. They might have, if you clean the lacquer with these things and use anything that's strong or like 409 or Fantastic or ammonia, it strips the lacquer right off. But they could easily be recolored, and this would really glow. It's lovely, and it brought $224, which I think was a good buy. If you collect scholars objects, these incense stick tubes can be pretty expensive, but this was a nice one, nicely carved. And then there was this lovely big pair of jars. These were 17 inches tall, and a nice deep blue on them with these outside panels all the way around. They had the original lids, and the shape of these jars was quite nice, really nice. And they were later 19th century, mid-late 19th century jars, but very good quality and big. And they did well. They brought $5,226. They were from the seller Grand Pip rather, over in the UK, in Beaminster. He gets nice things. He's always out there, I guess, hunting around, finds good objects. And then there was this bronze that we featured last week. I liked it a lot. As I said before, I'll say it again. I like these Ming Bronzes. I think they're undervalued. And this was a nice one, well figured, nice gilding on them. And I love the facial expression of the character, and a good old stand, very typical stand, and it went pretty reasonably, $610. That's not a bad buy at all to get a good early bronze. So that was a good thing. It came from a state consignor. He's a seller in Asheville, North Carolina. Got it. So I don't know where they got it. And then there's this. This was a good carved rock crystal brush washer, or brusher as they sometimes call them. Nice Qing Dynasty example. There it is. It's got some leaves carved on it. Good detail. Little bits of wear here and there, which is typical for these scholars objects. There it is. Has an some sort of old inventory shop tag on it. And there it is. And it did well. It brought $1,071. The same seller also had a very pretty carved turquoise example of this, done in sort of in the shape of a leaf. That I liked a lot. And it went for a lot less. It went for a couple of $100. So something, I hope one of you guys got that, or got both of them. And then there was the young Chen Rooster teapot with an undertray. The teapot was particularly well done. I love the deep, heavy blue enamels on the top, and this good, luxurious, deep red all through here. Lots of deep color, and an undertray. So there you go. The undertray had a hairline in it down in here, in case you looked at it. But what you're really buying is the teapot. The teapot was the meat of the deal, as they say. It's a good-looking pot. And it did quite well. It brought $940, just under a little $1,000. Call it $1,000, once you get it delivered. But a good object, a nice-looking object if you collect early 18th century porcelain, early to 18th century, mid 18th century porcelain. And then there was this very pretty simple, but very nice, Kangxi Plate. And what was nice about it, I liked, was it has the very heavy overglazed blue, very dense overglazed blue enamels on here. As you know, overglazed blue enamels really came into vogue during the latter part of the Kangxi period. And it had an old repair up in here that isn't trying to hide anything. And but a nice looking plate, nice old plate, and I think that would clean up pretty well if you wanted to have it done right. And it brought $343, but it was a good looking plate even with the repair. Liked it. And then our friend Kent down in the Carolinas had this eclectic mix for you. He had several good things up. He had some nice amber beads and some other objects. We sent out a reminder about him because I liked some of the stuff in here. And I particularly liked this snuff bottle. I thought it was spectacularly well painted and fully inscribed with a poem and a very fine detail all the way around. Just a nice looking snuff. And here are the cats on the back. The coloring on this was really good. This is a gem of a bottle. And it did pretty well. It brought $1,036. I think somebody got a nice buy with that. That was a good object. And I talked to him about it. It came out of a collection down south somewhere. He gets pretty good house calls. And then these were put up by the seller Qing period. He hasn't sold anything on eBay for about a year and a half, I think. He sort of disappeared. I have a feeling he got discouraged due to non-payers, probably. If you buy something on eBay, for God's sakes, pay your bill. All right. If you want to see things on here, nothing discourages sellers more than not getting paid. They work hard. Dealers work hard to find things to put up, and to put it up for 10 days and have it not get paid for is really disappointing. All right. And he came back. Bravo to him. He put up 68 very nice lots. This was just one of them. It was a good-looking pair of Yongchen Marken period celadon plates on stands. Beautiful color. Love the color of these. And they did well. They brought $8,100. This is the kind of stuff he sells. He sells some great things. And then he had this nice big Kangxi charger. I think this was plate was like 37 centimeters, so 14 inches in diameter, somewhere around there. And it was in nice condition. It didn't have all the horrifying wear that you often see in the center of these Wu's eyepieces. And nice, deep, solid yellow cavetto with ruby heads in it, all delicately outlined in black, the way you want to see them. And I believe it had a track rim on the foot. A nice looking thing. And I think this was a fairly reasonable buy. It went for $2,000 for a charger. Shunzi, he called it Shunzi period transitional. But anyway, nice charger. All right. That was a good thing. And we're going to get into a few things that are closing now. This closes tonight. By the time you see this video, it may have closed. I had mentioned this last week. This was a very lovely wood carving with an ivory head in jade. It fitted with jade and coral. There's a jade bracelet, a jade pendant on the ribbons, and at the bottom there's a coral tassel, and the hair is all done in black and green inks and faces nicely. This is an old one, early 19th century, maybe late 18th, but a beautiful quality carving. There's the back of it. I'll always check to see how the robes are done, how they hang. And this was a good one. And it's up to $1,011. I think when we first saw it, I think it was at about $2. Wasn't getting much love, but people have spotted it, and I suspect it'll do quite well at the end of the day. This seller is in Spain. They get great things. And then Egremont Horn has some interesting things up this week. This is one of them. It's a very nice celadon Korean peach form water dropper, but very nice quality. He's got a good picture of the bottom on there. There it is with the three clay spurs. Good deep green Korean glaze. Nice object, and it's just started. It's only up to about $5. So, as I always say, go by and leave a bid. Leave a bid on these things if you're interested in them. And then there is this. This is a new seller. It's a guy that got a hold of me. He had a couple of things that he's bought that he'd like to sell, and this is one of them. This is a massive 24-inch, 22-inch elephant, Japanese bronze elephant. It's almost 2 feet tall. It's a big one. He's got an opening bid on it of $2,000. It's not an unreasonable opening bid. I suspect that it's probably worth $3,000 or $4,000, but it's very unusual and quite elegant. And we'll see how that does. And then next up is this very nice transitional or 1 Li bottle. It's been clobbered. There it is in here, and it's only up to about $94 at the moment. I think it'll do a good bit better. And there's a very nice bronze. This is a nice old bronze, Ming Dynasty, good quality, nicely cast, had some weathering to it. Comes on sort of. I love the wood stand it's on. It's an old stand with an old plaque, Epoch Ming. Probably that stand was probably done about 1900, but it's a rather attractive package, I thought. And that's on Art Fan has that up. I like that. And then there's a seal. This is a rather nice old seal. Let's get a better picture of it. There it is. This is a good old table seal, scholar seal. Looks like it's done in bronze. Well done, but an old one, probably Ming, in beautiful condition. And for its age, because scholar seals tend to get worn, they get used a lot. And that's just started, and that'll be in the newsletter this weekend. Oh yeah, I found some terrific photographs. If you like Chinese photographs, are becoming sort of hot thing over there. And there's a seller up right now that's got some of these nice CDV cards of Chinese street scenes from the 1880s, 90s. But some of them are quite interesting. This one in particular, I liked a great deal, with the architecture and the figures sort of posing for the camera. It's a good-looking thing. And on the corner, it says down here, somebody in the white pen had put in that old Chinese temples, and it's number 226. All right. So you might want to look at that. It's only up to $7 or $8, and I think that's a nice item. It closes in a few days. And then we'll get over to this. There's still this Fitzhugh terrine. There's a seller up that's got a bunch of orange Fitzhugh. If you collect orange Fitzhugh, there's a good group of them on here right now, and you can link off to, take a look at this, and then link over and see the rest of his items to see them all. There's a number of, I think there's 7 or 8 lots of them at least. And this one's up to $885. Orange Fitzhugh is still pretty popular stuff. And then there's this very nice sterling silver, Chinese silver canister, or an opium box. It's but good quality. It has a lot of inscriptions on it, and it is signed on the bottom by the maker. There it is. There's the silver stamp. Good one. I like the touch of the rope twist edging around it. And it's up to $137. That'll be closing in a couple of days on Sunday. That closes Sunday. And our friend Fiek over in the Netherlands has a bunch of good things up. His seller name is Hans3962, and he's got this very pretty, very well-known type of young Shen plate. These are always among the higher quality of the young Shen output, made mostly for export, but beautiful quality with a Chinese scene on it. Nice detail, and it's not all worn out and in rough condition. It's a good piece, good looking plate. And it's up to $290, which is not unreasonable, and we'll see where that goes. But he closes on Sunday as well. And this Egmont horn, I mentioned a few minutes ago that he has that celadon piece up, but he also has a collection of books, and you want to check these out. This is the Chinese ceramics, selected articles from orientations from over about a 15-year period. There's some good articles in that. And he's also got the Transactions of the Oriental Ceramic Society. He's got a bunch of them up. If you don't have any of those books, you should get them. They're tremendous. The Oriental Ceramic Society accepts papers and articles from scholars from all over the world, and they put out these books. And you can see volume 70, 73, 72. He's got a lot of them here, and they're quite exceptional. And there's also a copy of He Li's book here, Chinese Ceramics. It's the paperback edition, but a nice one. He's got the Hatcher Cargo catalog. If you're building your library, this is a good little group of books, and they came from the collection of Jeffrey Godden, who's pretty well known over there, and New York and the China Trade. There's a lot of books here. You want to come check them out. If you got any holes in your library, you might be able to fill them from here. There's some very good there's a very nice old sort of desirable book on the enamels of China and Japan, written a long time ago. And this one has sort of gotten some controversy, actually. It's the Survey of Ceramics, the Trace Model Study. And it's a theory about dating porcelain by examining them very closely under magnification for signs of legitimate wear. But it's an interesting book. And it came out about, I think, 3 years ago, and sort of like in there with the hollow line theory. But a number of people think it's a good thing. And here are some more of the books. Okay, we got the books up twice, I guess. All right. Well, at any rate, that's it for the week. So check out the newsletter when it comes out later on today, and take a peek at Grace Wu Bruce's book review. You'll probably like that. And everybody have a great weekend. We're off to stack wood this weekend. The winter's coming here in New England. We have a home and away in the mountains, and we're going to be up there stacking a few cords of wood for a couple days. So everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.